Welcome back, everyone. We're talking all things Rockies this morning, including the hope from fans that the Rockies have a better season this year. We've got Dr. Ziegler here with us. Thank you so much for joining us. Okay, there's this thing about always rooting for the underdog, right? Okay,
yes.
What is that? Like, why do we always kind of gravitate towards that?
Yes, like psychology actually studies this because it's such a strong phenomenon.
Right.
But there's a lot of reasons, and one of them, it provokes empathy out of us. Like, we can see in others, whoever the underdog is, the team, the person, we see like the best qualities in them, and it provokes that feeling of like, oh, I can relate to that. So there's this relatable feeling that you get when you watch an underdog, and everybody loves that feeling of hope.
Yeah.
And so studies have tracked these people, and when you watch something that's an underdog story that has a positive outcome, you have that feeling of hope remains for days in you. It's not just quick.
It's so true.
Isn't that true?
I think about like if I'm even watching a game where I really just have no stake in it whatsoever. It's always like who hasn't done well, who is the one that like you're not expecting to win, and then you're like, oh my gosh, do it. That's amazing.
Yeah.
So I mean, how much has this been researched, and why was it researched, I guess?
Yeah. Well, psychology kind of researches all phenomena.
Yeah.
Most phenomenons, but it really is strong because it applies to business. So it applies when you're looking at companies, the underdog company.
Oh, that's interesting. Yeah.
Right. So they study it in business, they study it in sports, and they study it in like figures, like in literature and in books. Okay. So it's a really consistent theme as a human being. But one of the things that also is really interesting is that where the underdog starts is a measure. So like if they start from the real bottom and they make it to the top, that's what gets people really invested and excited. But so the starting point matters, like how much of an underdog are you?
Yeah.
Actually matters to the draw of the person and the cheering. The other thing that's really interesting with sports is that when you're an underdog, you have this feeling that you're watching the underdog and that they need you, right? Because there's something like that they're not as good.
Yeah.
So as a fan, when you're out there and you're cheering hard, so you're cheering for the Rockies, you're doing your chants, you actually get the sensation psychologically like you are helping them. They need you, and we all like to be needed.
So fascinating. Yeah.
So it's another perspective of why we cheer for the underdog. It makes us feel needed as well. It gives us hope, and it makes us feel needed, and it helps us relate to them.
That is really interesting. I mean, once you say it out loud, you're like, oh yeah, that makes sense. Is it stronger for sports versus, like you were saying, business or other areas?
You know, it's been studied pretty strongly in business.
Sure.
So we probably maybe have a little bit more data, but I think, you know, around like business, like really rooting for that small mom and pop shop to survive.
Yep.
Although there's interesting data there, right? We really want the mom and pop shop to survive, but then once Target or Walmart comes down the street and they have cheaper prices, people go there. So it's an emotional draw.
Sure.
And it's the same thing with teams. It can be like that too. You can turn on your team, right? You want to root for them, but if the better team comes along,
you're like, wait, I actually like them.
Exactly. So it's a very emotional kind of phenomenon.
That is interesting, and thank you giving perspective to folks so that they're not mad at the Rockies from the get-go, right?
No, we're cheering for them.
Let's cheer for them, right? They're our underdogs. I love it. Thank you so much for your time. It's always good to see you.
Thanks.